Conventional wisdom says that with what's happening in Israel during its war with Iran and Hamas and the Houthis, and occasionally Hezbollah, militias in Iraq, and other terrorist proxies of Iran, the Israeli economy would be paralyzed, with many Israelis not being able to work, having to constantly race the bomb shelters, the airport being closed, and many economic avenues cut off completely or reduced. But in fact, the opposite is happening. Israeli markets are thriving. Israeli stocks are outperforming the world markets. They've been posting solid gains, including this morning. Now, there's something called the TA-125 index. That's the Tel Aviv 125 index. It's risen for 5 straight trading sessions as of the end of last week. So even as global markets are remaining cautious, taking a wait and see approach to what's going to happen with this war, whether or not there's going to be impact in the wider Middle East, the markets are rallying. They rallied again today following the U.S. airstrikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. Now, part of this can be explained by the fact that investors in Israel and people who invest in Israel are used to the country being at war with its enemies, being that it's been continuously under attack by terrorists and governments supporting terrorists since modern Israel's founding in 1948. They've literally been at war ever since due to Arab governments and their terrorist proxies' refusal to accept Israel as a state. Instead, they've been trying to destroy it ever since 1948. Investors are definitely familiar with Israel at war and comfortable with that risk. But the markets right now are signaling something more than that. They're signaling a confidence in Israel's strategy, in its renewed position of strength, perceived strength in the Middle East. And of course, President Trump's decision to strike Iran has helped bolster that position and perception of Israeli strength within the markets. And what investors in Israel have seen is that war rarely interferes in a really significant and lasting way with the Israeli economy and its markets. When there are sell-offs, investors generally see those as buying opportunities, and that means the markets rebound very, very quickly. So Israel's got all these reservists called up, hundreds of thousands of young people fighting, but the economy of Israel has continued to grow. It's been resilient since October 7, 2023, when Hamas attacked Israel. Employment is around 3%. And if you were an investor who invested in Israel, Israeli companies, the Israeli stock market, after October 7, 2023, you would have actually seen your stocks perform significantly better than American stocks during that period. So it's a really interesting story about the resilience of the Israeli economy, and something that you're not going to read or hear a lot about in mainstream media. I'm going to be following the economic angle and every other angle of this conflict involving Israel and Iran. I'll be staying on the story. I'll have more for you soon.